this video, we're going to do something a little different. Usually I just run you through quite quickly what we're doing, just to show you briefly. With this one, I'm actually going to take you through an entire recipe to show you how to make mayonnaise, because mayonnaise is so easy to make. You buy it in the shops and it's full of gums and thickeners and preservatives and all that sort of stuff, when it doesn't have to be. It's really quick and really easy to make, and I'm just going to show you how to do it. That way you don't have to buy that crap in the supermarket anymore. Now I'm going to use a food processor just for speed, but you can do it with a whisk and a bowl. Or a blender for that matter, but you're just going to make sure that the blender is not on super high speed. So, we start with one free-range egg. You don't have to use free-range, of course, but I grew up next to a cage egg farm. I'll never use cage eggs. So, whack the lid on. We're going to turn this on. Get that egg going around. Now, the key to this is olive oil. Now, you can use any oil. Actually, I'll turn this off so you can hear me. You can use any oil before this. I generally try to avoid using olive oil just because it's a little too rich. But I prefer sunflower oil, but the only sunflower oil I could find today was full of antioxidants and a lot of extra crap. But this particular olive oil is quite light in flavor, so it's not really going to be too rich. And because we're going to actually make a Dijonnaise with it, it's not going to be that prevalent. So turn it on, and the key to this is a very slow drizzle to start off with. You see, I'm just pouring it in very, very slowly, and what that's doing is basically the molecules of the oil are surrounding the egg, and this is called an emulsion sauce. Slow drizzle is key. Once you see it starting to bind, you can actually speed it up a little bit. But if you go too fast, it'll split, and if you go too thick, it'll eventually split too. So you're going to watch the thickness of what's going on. So as you can see inside there, it's nice and it's thick and creamy, and that is the basics for mayonnaise right there. That's all it is. Now we'll go back to do some flavoring for it. As I mentioned, if we go too thick with it, it will eventually split. But you can balance it out with, because we want to add a bit of acid to it. I'm going to use vinegar in this case, but you can also use lime juice or lemon juice. You can use balsamic vinegar if you want, but it'll turn it pink. And the vinegar then will thin it back down, and then we'll add more oil to bring it back to the texture that we're after. And then you can actually quite alternate this back and forth with, if you get enough vinegar in there, you can actually add a bit of water too to balance this out, and you can actually get quite a bit of volume out of the one egg with the oil. Generally you can get close to a liter of oil from one egg. I generally go for about 700, 750. Right now we've just got about a half liter in there, and yeah, we'll just finish it off. So right now I'm going to use just a bit of apple cider vinegar. And the vinegar also whitens up the color of it too. And then we can drizzle in some more oil. left is the seasoning. So I've got some cracked black pepper here. I like this because it gives you a little more punch when you hit it, and the little specks look good through it. Just got one teaspoon of pepper, 2 teaspoons of salt. And in this case, I'm going to kick it up a little bit with some chipotle hot sauce. So chipotle is a smoked jalapeno. So it gives it's not really strong flavor, but it gives you a nice smoky finish to it. And I'm just going to put a few shakes in there. Basically from here on in, it's all just seasoning to taste. So just let that go around for a few minutes. Okay. So as you can see, we've got good mayonnaise texture here. And if you wanted, more of a store-bought look to it, of course, you use some fine ground pepper instead, so you wouldn't get the specks through it. Now, Dijonnaise simply is just Dijon mustard and mayonnaise mixed together. So again, I won't put this in the actual recipe that I'll post up in a second, but because this is all according to personal taste. So I'm going to add a couple of spoons of the mayonnaise. Whisk this together. And there you go, that's it. So it's very easy to make, and there's no extra added shit in it to keep it on the shelf for the next 5 years. Okay, so here I have some sour cream. We'll add some whole grain mustard to this. And over here, I have quite a thick little cheese sauce that I've just put together. It's got a few extra herbs and stuff in it. And we're going to add a little bit of this first to our sour cream. It's called tempering, because if we just put the sour cream straight in, cold, it's likely to split on us. So this is awkward to do in front of the camera, but so this slowly warms up the sour cream instead of shocking it, so that it'll keep it from splitting. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot of cheese sauce compared to the sour cream. It's focused on the sour cream, but we want the cheese sauce just to help kind of bind it together a little bit. Okay, so now we're ready to put this pizza together. Let's start with our cheesy, sour, creamy, seeded mustardy sauce. On top of that, we're going to put some of our rosemary roasted royal blue potato. On top of that, we're just going to put a light sprinkle of our 3 cheese blend. That's followed by our honey roasted ham. And as you can see, this is real leg ham as opposed to the normal soccer ball stuff you get in a pizza shop. Now, these are just pickled cocktail onions. So, nice little hits of sharp flavor through it. Followed by some cubes of Swiss cheese. Now, the reason we do this in cubes is, the Swiss cheese on its own, it's got, good flavor, but it tends to get, if we grate it, it tends to disappear a little more. So this way, you get, little pockets of that flavor, and the sweetness of the Emmental cheese is actually, an imported from Switzerland, Swiss cheese. The Emmental cheese is a little bit on the sweet side. It's got a bit of a sweet finish, so it's a little contrast very nicely with the cocktail onions and the Dijonnaise. So there it is, ready for the oven.